After watching this video, you would actually understand say Sarkodie and Stingy, just as how Philanthropy are painting for us to believe.
How do you tell people no when they ask you for money? What's your strategy?
I'll see what I can do.
You leave it open-ended.
That's the line. You know,
but you got too much money for that. That wouldn't work on me. If I come and ask you for money, you say you see what you can do. No, I can see what you can do. You can do a lot.
No, but I'm very straight with that though. My family keeps telling me that they think my no is so hard that they feel it's like offensive, right? Money on me. I actually gave it out to somebody, and I knew I was going to wake up in the morning. You probably go to the bank or something. So, bro, I literally had in Ghana cedis, let's say like £1 on me. The night is like the day is done. It's in the night. I'm not going to do anything. Now this guy walks in and asks for £50 because he said he had to travel early in the morning, and he's talking to me. There is nothing that I was going to say that he's going to understand. He cannot believe that you don't have.
You are
50 is like,
sir.
He feels 50 to me is like buying pizza, right? So what is like, how? And to date we're not in talking terms.
Relax, next video to the very last end, yes, sure. Which video on YouTube, where you know subscribe, do us say you go subscribe. Now, which video on TikTok, X, and Instagram, full video no of Vimbas on YouTube. So there's this very, very popular misconception about Sarkodie. Almost so you're very, very stingy, like extremely stingy, almost on chardy or you're pay rough. I mean, years ago, you know, a phone be cried by HS, and now we use some old phone be almost, you know, because of the stinginess and to new phone, just a whole lot. That has been, you know, imprinted in the minds of most Ghanaians, especially the enemies. Now, so, and yes, sir, and it's here, especially after watching video ayede tremo. We share that particular video anywhere, you would understand say Sarkodie and ye stingy at all name or the nyansa any adjoin cognitive and so 2 years ago, Sarkodie grantee interview with Plus 44 podcast, a very, very popular podcaster, you know, Amazon, Eshe, Echiri, and you know, Okasa, Edifa, some investments, how you know, the music in general, how our movie, how our spending, the foundation, our setting up, boy needy, and the poor, low key, and you know, outside there. Now, the host ne bisane say obi e bisane favor da amanaka de bi e honom na Sarkodie to nebo e break it down o say onu be bisano sika na favor or so tia like he should understand the reason why we bisane sa cash no, or the reason why also yi sika e de mau say humanity tia beyond reasonable doubt we bisa $1,000 in poor or the be mau $10,000 even at the end we bisa even $100,000 or the be mau because it is for a greater cause. Now so say unim that's how be money format be 1212 that's say o redo no who say no a format be na money there any on your clients on first scanning mouth da. Now I see in most instances in Crawford and Tenasesa into at the end of the day they tend to say he is stingy. Even at a point called my example say once upon a time, you know, the seeker shen hunina or the chair emane car to say 50 cedis because onim say the chair obeko bank akwa withdraw kakra. Now so nadam fubi ebebisa ne say on mane kakra na adechi or the two kwan when timi enya amani ntino nadam fuyi ebufu na till now. HSA on no enye free probably na down for no any push agenda say Sarkodie stingy. Well, ain't wasting more time adofo mumenko tie Sarkodie ye beto amoso.
Very charitable, and you know, for your Sarkodie Foundation, where does the motivation come from?
Yes, I've always had a thing for the aged and then children, because I feel like I've been in that stage before where you're vulnerable. It's easy to be manipulated or anything can happen when you're in that state. So I feel like I've always felt, I imagine if the world could be, everybody could be equal. Everybody, at least, if not, as riches is like, I think it's a choice. People want to have wealth and deal with a lot of businesses and be entrepreneurs and all that.
But at least everybody being okay.
At least your basics are sorted. I wish that could happen, but I think the world is not built like that. And all we have to do is that when you're privileged, you just look back. I've been a strong believer of that. And in the beginning, I had a struggle with even setting up the foundation, because I had my own theory, but then I was wrong, because I thought having a camera on you was wrong. Telling people you're doing this is wrong. But then I realized, no, you're being in this position because you attract a lot of people that the guy in the corner in the community cannot. You know, I can just tweet and then sort your bill for you within 2 minutes, because I'm just going to say people should contribute. So I'm like, okay, if that, then that makes sense. And that's when I set up the Sarkodie Foundation. Because prior to that, I was doing stuff on my own. I randomly pick up Instagram and go like on the explore, and I see somebody post, and I just go and check if it's real. I get my people to go there and check, and then I just sort it out. But I'm like, you could do it bigger if you involve everybody. Scale. Exactly. So I had to snap out of it and just psych my mind, no matter what even people are going to say. I just make sure that this is what I want, so I have to make sure that I help. So that's what birthed the foundation. Yeah,
and there's always going to be somebody in it. He just wants people to think he's a good guy, and everything like that. But like you said, there's a benefit to it. You can reach people, and you can use resources, and you just have an ability to galvanize people. Like, somebody might not know where the problem is, but you can say the problem's over there. Let's go.
And I'm working with a lot of companies with big budget to support, and just because I don't want people to say, I'm doing this, I'm not going to involve and have a bigger picture to save a lot of people. No. So that's when I took it like very official, and then my team set it up, and then now we have a structure to be able to help.
You do a lot of business outside of music. What motivates you to do that, and how important do you think that is, especially for younger artists to understand?
That's a personal decision for me, because I think as a person, I freak out when I don't have bread.
I'm like,
I don't know if everybody is like that, but I literally freak out. Like, I have panic attacks when that's happening. So I'm always like, my manager told me that if I didn't do music, I would still find a way to survive, which is true, because I can't. When I was living with my mom, all I was thinking about is having my house, right? Even as a little child, I still had that. So I knew that I needed some kind of security. So that's where that came from. So in the beginning, I focused on music 100%, which I think is right. People actually mistake that whole thing and go like, music is not, you can't depend on that. You have to find, there's that saying.
Yeah, but it's like, at first, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it properly.
So what my logic was with that is build the brand, take your time and build the brand. Because I always believe in, if something's gonna be successful, all the businesses that I know which is super successful, they have a long story. And when you build that, you use that to do any other thing that you want to do. Now, every room I'm sitting in at Sarkodie, and I bring in, I'm worth something when I'm having a conversation. So it's easier for me to get through the door. But if I left it half and half and I didn't fulfill this side, then you're not worth the conversation too.
Yes.
So it was scary, because a lot of business-minded people having conversations with me in a time when I was focused on music and telling me, music is not something you can focus on, come to this side. But I didn't feel like doing it. I really love music. And anything you love, you can make money from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that comes along with the music, not just performing or even streaming. There's a lot that comes with it. So that also inspired me to get into other stuff, and just keep the chain going.
How did lockdown affect you musically?
Funny enough, it was a defining moment for me when I respected my job. People think they said to me, I don't take poor people as friends, but I'm like, no, that's not what it is. You don't even have to have a successful business, but if you're like a business-minded person, I love to
enjoy
like deal
talking
with
to that person. Yeah.
So luckily, I have a lot of like super wealthy people in Ghana who are like friends, and when I sit down with them, their business is like dealing with people direct, and they always have cash. So when that time came, I realized my business was actually not that bad as I thought, because this is the time where
it should have took a dip.
Exactly. Everybody was, of course, shows and physical contact that was locked. So but then streaming was up because everybody was watching. I remember that I was so bored, I dropped a diss track, and it did well. A lot of people were watching, people were staying home, so the numbers were crazy.
Yeah.
And this is the product that you can't touch. Is in the air, so you're still making money off it. I respected my business at that point.
So you gained a new respect for music.
Exactly.
Because it's a product you can buy that you don't have to touch.
You don't have to touch. I don't have to do no maintenance, nothing. So, but then I look at other people where they have to actually be physical. They need workers to come and do whatever. But then I didn't have to do that. All I have to do is just sit in my room, upload, and make money.
That's actually an interesting take that I didn't hear before.
Yeah, I learned a lot. And I was stuck in the States. And I keep saying this, I paid all my bills without coming into Ghana and trying to like take my savings, you know, and all came from music, right? So that gave me a different perspective about my business, which after that, I started talking to a lot of investors to come into music, because people think entertainment is literally entertainment, but we're talking big bag in entertainment industry.
I always like to ask people with money this question because I'm looking for tips and advice. How do you tell people no when they ask you for money? What's your strategy?
I'll see what I can do.
You leave it open-ended.
That's the line, you know.
But you got too much money for that. That wouldn't work on me. If I come and ask you for money, you say you see what you can do. No, I can see what you can do. You can do a lot.
No, but I'm very straight with that though. My family keeps telling me that they think my no is so hard that they feel it's like offensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like a no that makes them think about asking the second when they ask again. Do you know what I mean? It's like this no might last 2-3 more times.
But because they can't figure me out, because you can ask me for $1,000, I'll say no, and you can do like 15 and I'll say yes, and you don't understand why. It's because of what you said and what it's going to solve.
Yes,
that makes sense to me. You know, but if it doesn't make sense, I'm like no. And then if I can, of course I'm going to tell you I can't do it. It's not. And if anybody is mad at you because of that, they're not supposed to be there.
Oh, there you go. Sometimes you can tell somebody you can't and they'll never believe that you can't.
So one incident happened way back. That's me without money. Okay, I was working a little bit, but I seen the beginning of my career, and I came home and I literally spent my last money on me. I actually gave it out to somebody, and I knew I was going to wake up in the morning, you probably go to the bank or something. So bro, I literally had in Ghana CDs, let's say like £1 on me. The night is like, the day is done. It's in the night. I'm not going to do anything. Now this guy walks in and asks for £50 because he said he had to travel early in the morning, and he's talking to me. There is nothing that I was going to say that he's going to understand. He cannot believe that you don't have.
You are
50 is
Sarkodie,
like,
sir.
He feels 50 to me is like buying pizza, right? So what is like, how? And to date we're not in talking terms. You know? So he never got over it. And I don't explain nothing to nobody, because I treat things like how I'm going to treat it, because I wouldn't be mad at you if you say that. So I think allow people be them, but then you can't please everybody.
That's true. And I always say, don't ask a question that you can't hear no to. Because if you ask a question you can't hear no to, you weren't really asking the question. And you were making demands.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Thank you so much for this conversation.
Much,
make some noise for Sarkodie.
So I don't say no cray. You all could tell, say Sarkodie is not stingy at all. And I say still unbelievable. Well, that is explanation of the Abba. Inti for adventure. Efa your comment section no am I Vimbas TV so na we yada CP
Vimbas TV.